Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for another video. What we're going to do today is we're going to be looking at our 2025 to 2026 Clemson Tigers football team. We're going to completely break this team down, look at the roster, look at the coaching staff, the offense, the defense, the pieces they added to last year's team, the pieces they lost from last year's team, and try to predict the outcome for every single one of their games today, and also what their final record will be. We know that final record, that's what's going to determine if they make it back to the college football playoff. They have a lot of hype coming into the season, much more hype than they had last season. A lot of people picking Clemson to win the ACC back-to-back seasons to make it back to the playoffs. Some are even saying that they have an under-the-radar chance at making the national championship. Dabo would love that. He's already won two. He would love to get his third. That would put him up in Nick Saban category. But right now, first things first, guys, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. If you have any comments, do you agree with me, disagree with me? What are your thoughts on my predictions today? What are your predictions for the 2025 Clemson Tigers team? Make sure to let me know down in the comments, and I will make sure to respond to every single comment. If you want to sign up for one of our member teams, look down the pinned comment down below. You can click on that link there. There is 3 different tiers to the member group. If you sign up, I would definitely appreciate it. For those of you who have signed up, obviously a massive, massive shout out to you. Clemson last season, don't forget Clemson last year was considered technically a down year. They went to the ACC championship. They beat SMU. They find themselves in the playoffs out of nowhere. They exceeded a lot of people's expectations. We did have them making the playoffs. We were not surprised. We had them winning the ACC. We were not surprised. They did win it. They made the playoffs. Yes, they lost their first game, but they put up a fight, and they showed everyone, do not forget about Clemson. They are still here. And I think they're going to be a lot better this season. Obviously, Dabo, he is back again. One of the better coaches in modern college football history. You have Garrett Riley. Another year with this offense in this system. They took massive, massive strides forward. The big knock on Dabo was his offense was starting to fall behind modern offenses. He brought in Riley. Year 1, kind of shaky. Year 2, what Cade Klubnick did, he took massive steps forward. They're going to be even better this season. They have an even better, deeper wide receiver core. The run game is going to be good. They have one of the best offensive lines. They probably have a top 5 national offensive line right now. And of course, the big thing, the big piece they added in the offseason, Tom Allen coming over from Penn State. Those of you who don't know who Tom Allen is, you are definitely going to learn who he is this season. He's been on the biggest stages, played the biggest teams coming out of the Big Ten. But what I like the most about him is he's coming from a physical line of scrimmage conference where you have to be able to compete in the trenches versus the most difficult teams. Oregon, Michigan, USC, Ohio State, Penn State. He's been there. He's done it. He's going to bring that to the ACC, which is obviously a lot easier of a conference. Not to knock the ACC, but it is easier to exceed expectations in the ACC than it is in the Big Ten. He's going to get the most out of this defense. Look for them to jump up from a top 40 defense back to where Clemson has always been previous seasons, back into a top 10, top 15 defense, top 10 in tackles for loss, sacks, quarterback pressures. He's going to be aggressive. He's going to pin that front 7 years back, let them get after the quarterback. They're going to live in the backfield. That's what you Clemson fans, that's what you've become accustomed to. You didn't see it last year, but do not worry, it will come back. So you got the coordinators checked off. You have the head coach who's won on the biggest stages. You had Cade Klubnick. Clemson is only, one of maybe 3 top 15 teams that's returning a starting quarterback from last year. You have LSU with Nussmeier. You have Penn State with Drew Waller. You have Clemson with Cade Klubnick. He's been the starter here for a while, and he's consistently gotten better every single season. From the 2023 season to 2024, took massive, massive steps. This is a guy who could potentially run, for 800 yards, throw for 3,500 yards. He is, as of right now, the Vegas odds-on front runner for the Heisman this season. Obviously, that means people are saying Clemson might be back this season. Yes, Moff is going at the running back position. You would have loved to have him. But with the top offensive line, you're going to be able to pop holes in anyone's defensive front 7. You have Davidson. You have Haynes running the ball. This might be Clemson's best wide receiver core they've had in a while. Moore, Wesco, Williams, Turner, Smith, Brown, Preston. Lots of weapons at the wide receiver position. The offensive line set. The defense will be set. The coaching staff is set. Obviously, with the ACC, Clemson is also the odds-on favorite to win the ACC. Winning the ACC is going to automatically get you back to the playoffs. The big question mark here is, how deep will Clemson be capable of going in the playoffs this season? What's our mark here? What's the win total that we need to at least hit to either under underachieve or overachieve expectations. Right now, Vegas has Clemson coming in here at 9.5 wins. So if they hit 9 wins again during the regular season, that drops them in underachieving. Obviously, 10 wins is overachieving. Some people might not like going 10-2, but guys, that gets you in the playoffs. That gets you in the ACC championship. I would definitely take making the playoffs. Once you make the playoffs, 12 teams are in. Everyone's on equal footing. It is up for grabs. The Buckeyes showed that last season. They didn't even win the Big Ten. They weren't even one of the top seeds in the playoffs, and they won the national championship. So if they can do it, anyone can technically do it. Let's get started looking at this schedule game by game, and let's do our predictions. Obviously, a massive, massive game one. Clemson always usually has a very difficult game one because they will go anywhere. They will play any team at any point of the season. They're not afraid to play tough out-of-conference games. Saturday, August 30th versus LSU. This might be one of the best week one games in the nation. If it's not this one, it's the Texas-Ohio State game. Either way, this is potential top 10 on top 10 matchup. This is the ACC versus the SEC. LSU, a top 5, top 10 overall roster in the nation with a very decorated coach. You have Brian Kelly here. This is a put up or shut up season for him. A lot of pressure here. He has the experienced veteran team. Like I said, there's only a couple teams, a handful of teams returning quarterbacks from last season. This is two of the teams doing so. They have Garrett Nussmeier, an extremely talented wide receiver core. Might have one of the best, a top 3 overall wide receiver core in the nation. You have Blake Baker back second year as the defensive coordinator. They took massive strides from 23 to 24 on that defensive stride. Look for that to continue from 24 to 25. They're going to be even better, but so will Clemson. This is going to be a tough game. This is two talented teams. This is two teams that want to win this game at the line of scrimmage, at the point of attack. I think it's going to be very close. It's probably going to go down in the fourth quarter. It's going to be an extremely fun game to watch as an unbiased fan, just wanting to watch some really good football. But honestly, guys, I think Clemson's going to ultimately pull it away. I think Klubnick, his legs scrambling for first downs, extending plays with his legs, but still keeping his eye down the field to that talented wide receiver core. His offensive line buying him time, opening up holes to get 3rd and 1 downs, run that clock out. Clemson wins a very, very close game, 30-28, and they start out the season 1-0. And God knows, after that physical game, you want a cupcake game. Most teams are starting out with cupcakes. Clemson will have definitely earned a good, easy cupcake matchup. Saturday, September 6th versus Troy. This is going to be a game. They're going to curb stomp them here, but you want to get a lot of reps to your backups. You didn't get to put them in the last game because that game went down to the wire. This is your game. After the first half, pull the starters out, get the backups in, get them the reps. You're going to need them to have that experience down the stretch, especially once you make the playoffs. Clemson's going to win this game. They're going to win it handily. I have them winning this one 48-17. They're 2-0. Do not sleep on this next team. Georgia did the final regular season game last year, and they went into 8 overtimes. We're going to have Saturday, September 13th at Georgia Tech going to Atlanta. Georgia Tech is an under-the-radar, dark horse competitive ACC team. Talented team. You know, this is a team I think Vegas has them at 8.5 wins. They might finish this season top 25. They have Haynes King. They have a quarterback who can throw for 3,000 yards, run for 1,000 yards. They have who might be the best running back in the ACC. He could easily get 1,300 yards on the ground. There's a team that wants to run the clock out. It's going to be a ground and pound football team. The longer they stay on the field, the more they keep that ball out of Cade Klubnick's hands. Georgia Tech, they might upset Clemson here. Clemson fans, don't shut the video off. Don't panic. I'm not saying you are going to lose. I'm saying Georgia Tech is very capable of beating you in this game. Take them serious. They are talented. Like I said, they almost beat playoff due Georgia last season, but I think you guys are ultimately going to pull out. That's one of the benefits of having a veteran quarterback here. In these games, a lot of teams don't have that benefit. They are starting out brand new quarterbacks this season. Clemson has someone, he's been in all these games before. He knows how to win a game down the stretch. I have Clemson winning a very close one here. 30-27, they win it. They're 3-0. And then after that, Saturday, September 20th versus Syracuse. Fran Brown's team, obviously, he's been working the portal. He's been recruiting. What a season they had last year. 10-win team last season. Kyle McCord, extremely talented deep wide receiver core. All those guys are gone. They were all seniors or they transferred over. He's brought in a lot of new pieces. He's still going to have a team. They led the nation in passing last season. Passing touchdowns, passing yardage per game. They're going to score some points here, but a lot of new starters coming in, a lot of brand new pieces, a little bit of a younger team. He's been recruiting. He's been working the portal, but do not expect them to replicate the production they had last season. They will still be good, but they might be the toughest schedule in the ACC this season. Look for Clemson. Keep your eyes on focus here. You're going to take this game. I have Clemson ultimately winning it 38-24, and they're 4-0. And why not play the GOAT next? Well, the NFL GOAT. Saturday, October 4th at North Carolina Tar Heels. Bill Belichick here leading the Tar Heels. I honestly kind of scratched my head when they hired Bill Belichick because, yes, he's the GOAT from the NFL, but can a 73-year-old who's never coached in college really come to UNC and just right out of the gate have a great season? Maybe. I have my reservations. I don't expect that to happen. I think he'll have an okay season. He'll have a decent season, but it will be very similar to the last couple of years of Mac Brown. I think Clemson, they're just too talented. They have the edge here. Dabo, he's a college coach. Bill Belichick is an NFL coach. Dabo is going to win this one. I honestly think, not a knock on Bill Belichick. He is the GOAT, like I said, but I think Clemson's going to win this game pretty handedly. They win this one 37-20, and they're 5-0. And another NFL coach, another Bill Belichick disciple here, Saturday, October 11th at Boston College. This is Bill O'Brien's team. They're going to be physical. They want to run the ball. They want to control the time of possession. They want to dominate at the line of scrimmage, but that's easier said than done versus the far more talented Clemson team. I have Clemson taking this game on the road. They're going to win this one 33-17. They're 6-0. And this next one, we get to a really tough game. Probably going to be easily, this team will be a top 25 team Saturday, October 18th versus SMU. This is a rematch from the ACC championship game last season. Clemson did win that one. SMU, Rhett Lashley, they're going to have a good offense. He works the portal. He's stolen a lot of ACC players. He knows how to coach and adapt his offense to the playmakers he has on his team. They had a top 30 defense last season, top 25 offense. They have Jennings back as the quarterback, dual threat quarterback. He can extend plays with his legs. He loves to vertically push the ball down the field. But Clemson, with that aggressive defense that's going to be much better than last season, they're going to continue to get better every single game leading up to the stretch, because as they get more comfortable in this scheme, they're going to get more and more aggressive. Bottle him up, keep him in the pocket, force him to beat you on 3rd and long. I have Clemson winning this one, controlling the game and winning it by more than they did last season. They win this one 27-17, and they're 7-0. And don't also sleep on this team Saturday, November 1st versus the Duke Blue Devils. This is going to be Manny Diaz's team. They're going to have a great defense. They have the transfer coming over from Tulane. They're going to have a good offense. They won 9 games last season. If you sleep on Duke with their aggressive defense, they might sneak up on you. Look for Dabo. You got to round the wagons here. You got to keep everybody focused on the ACC championship. Again, that's when it helps having a veteran team, veterans at the wide receiver core, young running backs, but it's the quarterback keeping that offense focused. And Tim Allen, he's going to have that defense coming to play. I think Clemson's going to win this one, but I do think that this will honestly be a little bit of a closer game. I do respect Duke. I do respect Manny Diaz and that defense he's going to have, especially the secondary. Clemson wins this one 28-21, and they're 8-0. And Saturday, November 8th versus the Florida State Seminoles. Mike Norvell, he won 2 games last season. There is no way on earth they're going to replicate that awful season they had last year. They will be much better. As of right now, Vegas has them coming in at 7.5 wins. They have Castellanos transferring over from Boston College. Will he still be the starter by this point? Who knows? But Florida State will be much better than they were last year. On paper, this roster, one of the more talented ones in the ACC. They just have to stay healthy. They have to perform better as a team. I think they're going to be a good squad here, but Clemson's going to be able to own this game, especially in the trenches on both sides of the ball. Clemson wins this one 37-23, and they're 9-0. Now, you've had some cupcakes there. You've had a couple easy games. Friday, November 14th, the dreaded Friday game. Whenever you have a Friday night game, crazy things happen. That's a warning here. You're going to be playing at Louisville. You know it's going to be a night game. Louisville, it is going to be a madhouse. The fans are going to be loud. They might be ranked. Miller Moss transferring over. This is a coach up front. He gets the most out of his players. He will do whatever he needs to do to adapt his game plays, his calls to these skill position players. Force the ball, feed the ball to your best players in space. Louisville is going to have a good offense. Whenever these teams play, it is a shootout. Warning has been sounded there. I honestly have Louisville pulling off the upset, guys. 34-33, the closest game imaginable. Clemson fans, no reason to panic. 9-1. If you win 10 games in the ACC, no matter what, you will make the playoffs. You're only 1 win off. You are bound to lose one at some point. It happens to the best. You lost one here. You are 9-1. You are still the front runner right now to make the ACC championship, and you'll still be the Vegas front runner to win the ACC championship. Coming off that loss, Clemson is going to be pissed off. The very next team they play, they're going to curb stomp them. Saturday, November 22nd versus Furman. This game's not going to be close in any way whatsoever. I have Clemson beating the living crap out of Furman. They're going to win this one 58-10, and they're 10-1. That lets you know they are for sure at least going to make the playoffs right now. Going into this last game, it's going to be another potential top 10 on top 10 matchup Saturday, November 29th at South Carolina. Interesting game here. South Carolina, Shane Beamer and team. The way this team played Television Company down the stretch, what they were able to do last season, can they replicate it? No one was expecting that from South Carolina last year. No one was taking them serious. You saw what they did last year. Everyone's going to have them circled now. They're not going to be sneaking up on everyone. Can they live up to the expectations of the success they set last season? They had a top 25 defense, top 20-25 offense, and what they were doing on the field with their talent. They brought in a lot of 4 stars, transfer, recruiting. Everything just seemed to be going together versus Shane Beamer. But now we want to see how they respond when they are now coming into the season, not as an unranked team where no one's taking them serious, but as a top 15 team with massive expectations. A lot of people wanted them to make the playoffs last season. They just barely missed out, but the hype was there. Can they live up to that hype here? They're probably not going to be in line to make the SEC championship. This game, to me, even though it means a lot to both teams, it's going to mean more to South Carolina because no matter what, Clemson has still punched their ticket to the ACC championship. This is an out-of-conference game, and they've already also punched their ticket to the playoffs, in my personal opinion. I have South Carolina winning this game 28-24. Very close game. Clemson finishes the regular season 10-2. We said Vegas was predicting them at 9.5 wins, so we have them overachieving that. 10 wins, 10-2 season. They make the ACC championship. If you win the ACC championship, you are automatically in the playoffs. No matter what, I have Clemson making the playoffs, so that really doesn't matter. But a 10-win season, you win the ACC championship. You're now 11-2 going into the playoffs. You're getting really good seeding. Everything is sitting perfect for Clemson to maybe get back to the mountaintop, not just compete, but maybe they might win another national championship this season. Guys, that's our predictions for our 2025 Clemson Tigers football team. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. If you have any comments, by all means, drop them below. Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? What are your thoughts on Clemson this year? Make sure to let me know. Drop it in the comment section. I will respond to every single one of them. If you want to sign up for one of our member teams, look down at the pinned comment below. Click on that link. You can sign up there, and I would definitely appreciate it. And, of course, as always, thank you for watching.